Good afternoon. My name is John Hurley. I'm your judge this afternoon. We're in first appearance court. Today is the day the court determines whether or not there's probable cause. We're not here for a trial. We're not here to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. It's not for today. You do not need to tell us about your case. You don't need to explain yourself, defend yourself, make any excuses. That's not for today. Those things are for your attorney in a private meeting. Do not air them out in open court. You have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, whatever you say today can and will be used against you. Everything's being recorded. If you have a private attorney, when you're called up, let me know who that is. We'll contact your attorney and let them know that you're in court this afternoon. I need to call a case out of turn. Sebastian, Noel.
Decline PD, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Noel. Mr. Noel, do you understand you have the right to remain silent? If you give up that right today, you begin to speak about your arrest. What led up to you being arrested? Whatever you say today can and will be used against you?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Noel, do you have a private attorney representing you?
No, sir.
Do you intend to go out and hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let me just ask you a few questions. How long have you lived in South Florida?
Almost 10 years.
Okay.
Next June.
Do you have any money available to bond out yourself? Do you have anything in the bank, anything not in the bank?
I have some money, not in the bank though. My credit cards.
Okay, how much money do you think you have available to bond out with?
$500.
$500? Now,
Yes.
do you have family here in town?
Yes, I live with my mom and my two little brothers.
You have two daughters?
Two little brothers.
Brothers, okay. Now, what about, do you own land or property? Do you own any buildings, any land, anything like that in South Florida?
No, I just own a vehicle I just bought 3 months ago.
Okay. All right. Now, so you've been charged with human trafficking, forced sexual activity of a child under the age of 18. And based on this court's review of the probable cause affidavit, the court's going to find probable cause. State, is there anything you'd like to say about this?
Your Honor, this is a punishable by life felony, and
Okay.
I'm going to be moving to
So the standard would be proof evident presumption great.
Yes,
Are
Your
you
Honor.
moving to foreclosed bond and release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any, I was dealing on a probable cause level. I thought there's probable cause, but proof evident presumption great. Tell me
Your Honor,
what.
I'd still be relying upon the probable cause affidavit prepared by Detectives Grawl and Smith, Your Honor. First and foremost, it does mention in the report that that Mr. Noel confessed post Miranda, Your Honor. There's statements taken from both alleged victims, specifically the alleged victim that is under the age of 18. That,
How old is that alleged victim? 17?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Date of birth. Just one moment.
Do you want to put any live testimony?
Well, Your Honor, I was hoping to avoid if possible. I mean, I do think the affidavit does speak for itself, Your Honor.
Okay.
Based on his admission, based on the information received by both alleged victims, Your Honor, that Mr. Noel was taking money from them in exchange for sexual activity that they were performing in exchange for money at the hotel that he works as security, that he procured the rooms that they were operating out of for them, Your Honor. If there's any, Your Honor, they are here. If there's any issues the court has, I mean, I'm sure the detectives have no problem providing.
Let me talk to him real quick. Could you have?
Well, Your Honor, to avoid video.
Okay, hold on one moment. Now, we have two detectives here who are in the courtroom, Mr. Noel, who are going to testify briefly. In the green, could you please identify yourself?
John Anthony Graul, Graul.
Okay, you can maybe speak a little bit louder. Go ahead.
John Anthony Graul, Graul.
Okay, and who are you employed by?
City of Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
You're a detective there?
Yes, sir.
And you had an opportunity to investigate the case of Mr. Sebastian Noel?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And your name, sir?
Detective J. Smith, SMITH, Fort Lauderdale Police Department.
You're a detective also?
Yes, sir.
Did you work on this investigation also?
I did.
Okay. And let me just see if my summary is correct. This man was allegedly prostituting at least 2 women from reading this, one of which was under the age of 18. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
He was acting as, you know, in street slang, a pimp. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Now, he worked as a security guard at the La Quinta Hotel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, did he work for La Quinta or did he work for a private company that just was hired by La Quinta?
He worked for a private company that was contract services for them.
One thing I'm curious about, was he using the security guard as his cover? Was that part of it, to conduct these criminal activities? Is that part of what he was doing?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. In the La Quinta, that's in the city of Fort Lauderdale?
The Quinta that he works at is 3800 West Commercial, which is in the city of Tamarack, but the other hotel locations.
What was the name of the other hotel that was in the city of Fort Lauderdale?
There's also another La Quinta at 5070 North State Road 7, and there's an extended stay at 3873 West Commercial.
And it happened at multiple locations?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The one who's 18, did any of this occur that you know of when she was 17?
Not to the statement that I took from her, sir.
Okay. And this defendant allegedly admitted that he was acting as the pimp for these 2 young women, correct?
Yes.
You have that sworn testimony?
Yes, it is not to identify it in the term of pimp, but rather referring to it as a facilitator and their partner.
Okay. Was he in uniform when some of this was going on? I was wearing a security uniform.
I would presume, but the contacts that we had with him, he was not.
Okay. Okay, I'm curious, was he getting some type of discount at the hotel or something like that? You know
That we don't know that.
that? Okay. Anything else?
Just one other thing. Detectives, you took, actually, Detective Smith, you took a statement from the alleged victim.
I did.
Did she, in her statement to you, did she give any information to indicate that Mr. Noel would have been aware of how old she was?
Yes, she did.
What information did she provide you?
She stated that at some point in time with their contact from when he met her on the social media site Tag, she had her ID in a cell phone carrier where her phone was out, and he picked it up and examined it, and it was a Florida State ID, according to her testimony.
Okay.
And lastly, from when you first became aware of this case, approximately how long did the victim inform you that she and the defendant had known one another?
Approximately 3 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, State?
Nothing from the state.
Today, Mr. Noel, the court will find that there is proof evident presumption great regarding the alleged facts that you were allegedly prostituting at least one woman who was 17 years old here in the city of Fort Lauderdale. And the court also notes you allegedly admitted to this to the police, which you haven't sworn testimony, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So the court will order you to be held without bond. You'll be held without bond until further order of the court. The court will order you have no contact with a female who has the initials of JV, Juliet Victor. No contact with her directly or indirectly. And do we know the initials of the 18-year-old?
Yes, sir. SSS.
Excuse me, who's Juliet
No
Victor?
contact with SS. Mr. Noel, no contact with JV or SS. SS, Sierra. Those are the alleged young women, the 17 and 18-year-olds that you were acting as a pimp for. No contact.
I don't know who was JV or SS.
Well, I'm just...
Or these their initials?
Yes, that's their initials. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Excuse me. Now, let's deal with the city of Hollywood. Ready to go?
Here for page 10, Armando Perez. Docket. I think it's also with Dania.
Is it Dania?
I'm quite sure it's mine. I have my file with me.
What's the last name?
Perez. Armando Perez.
Is that on the second docket?
That was from this morning?
I believe that's for this afternoon.
He may be on the second look docket, right?
No, I think it was on the morning docket.
Is it?
It could have been maybe on this morning docket. If it was, I apologize.
Yeah, that's.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
May I speak as friend of the court?
Well, that depends. What does that have to do with, sir?
I'm going to give the court information that will help it.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
According to the morning docket, Mr. Perez bonded out this morning.
Okay, so that takes care of that. Is there anything else?
I think that's it, Your Honor.
Well, let me just take a quick look to make sure.
That was fairly friendly, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Hey. He's on the telephone right now?
My phone.
He's on your phone. Well, why don't I just tell him to hang up and I'll call him in just a minute, all right?
I have Thomas.
Javier, and Thomas.
Okay.
Got it?
May I see Mr. Aonius Artanto?
Your Honor, he is present. I was able to reach out to the Indonesian consulate today. He is now advising me that he would like to have an interpreter to conduct this hearing. Sue is on the phone with the interpreters now to see if that's even possible.
Can you get us?
So let me get this straight. He allegedly, and I'm not asking him, he is the bookkeeper or controller on a cruise ship. A Holland America cruise ship, in which he has to deal with money and contacting the company over receipts and everything like that. But he needs an interpreter to understand Okay, I understand. We're going to do that.
I think he's...
There isn't one.
There isn't one. There isn't one. Are you comfortable? One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller, how are we doing over there with that interpreter issue?
Your Honor, we're looking into it. Can we put this on recall?
Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Well,
Okay, may I see Kendra, Javier?
North Broward. North Broward, Your Honor.
You do? Yes, it's you.
I did not.
Javier,
I didn't speak with her.
you've been charged with domestic violence battery. The court finds probable cause. Do we have any prayers on Miss Kendra, Javier?
Just DWLS. Just DWLS, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
Just DWLS.
Ma'am, what do you do for work right now, Miss Javier?
I'm a manager at a supermarket.
How long have
Convenience
you
store?
lived? How long have you lived down here in South Florida?
All my life.
Okay. Did you have contact with the alleged victim, ma'am?
Not on this case, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, you allegedly got into an argument with your brother and shoving. Hold on one moment, ma'am. Javier. Ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance today, but I'm just going to order you have no contact with your brother. Don't call him. Don't text him. Don't email. That's Micah Laguerre. I don't want you to have any contact with him. Stay 500 feet from him at all times. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
That includes where he lives and works, and you're not allowed to possess guns, firearms, or ammunition while you're on release. Thank you, ma'am. Now,
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, see, Mr. Artanto. Mr. Artanto. Artanto.
Yeah, that's that dude there.
Yeah, if your name's not Artanto. Hello, Mr. Artanto.
Hello, Your Honor.
Sir, do you need me to get an interpreter for you to help you?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, just stand right there. Okay, now, good, turn on that mic for me. Good afternoon, Mr. Artanto.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Selamat sore, Bapak Artanto.
Halo, selamat sore.
Sir,
Good afternoon.
you have been charged
Good afternoon.
with 11 counts of grand theft.
Bapak sudah ada dituduhkan dalam pencurian grand theft, pencurian uang.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Apakah Bapak
Ya.
mengerti?
Ya, ngerti. I do understand.
Yes, I understand.
It is alleged while you were an auditor on a cruise ship, you stole the money.
Waktu itu dibilangkan bahwa dituduhkan bahwa Bapak waktu kerja di kapal pesiar sebagai auditor, Bapak mencuri uang.
You allegedly have admitted to doing so.
Dan Bapak juga sudah menyatakan bahwa Bapak mengaku melakukan itu.
Now, no, you don't need to
yes,
say
okay.
that. No. Now, sir, do you live in South Florida?
Apakah Bapak tinggal di Florida Selatan, South
Tidak.
Florida?
No. No.
No. Okay. Do you,
I could not hear him clearly.
I got it.
Rana.
He said no.
Okay. Okay.
Do you
No.
have any family or relatives in South Florida?
Apakah
No.
Bapak punya keluarga atau kerabat di South Florida?
No.
No.
Do you
No.
own land or property in South Florida?
Apakah
No.
Bapak mempunyai tanah atau properti di South Florida?
No.
Do you have any local banking accounts?
Apakah Bapak
No.
punya bank account di yang lokal di situ?
No.
Where will you live when you are released from jail?
Di manakah Bapak akan tinggal waktu dikeluarkan dari penjara?
Do you intend? He said, I don't know. Do you intend to return to Indonesia as soon as you're released from jail?
Apakah Bapak berencana untuk pulang ke Indonesia setelah Bapak dikeluarkan dari penjara?
No, I think Mr. Miller's learning on the fly. Hold on, ma'am, just one moment.
Sure.
Maybe he lives in Indonesia. This is a game. This is.
Okay.
Because we don't
You need
know.
to ask the question again, Your Honor.
Do you intend to return to Indonesia as soon as you're released from jail?
Apakah Bapak berencana untuk pulang ke Indonesia secepatnya setelah Bapak dikeluarkan dari penjara?
Yes.
We got you an interpreter. Answer in your own language.
Oh. Okay.
Nobody's telling him what to say. Clearly, no one is telling this man what to say.
So the court's going to raise your bond on each count to $5,000.
How much, Your Honor?
$5,000 per count. And then the court will order there be a nebia requirement.
Your Honor, the interpreter would like to know if you'd like me to
Yes.
interpret.
His bond is $5,000 per count for 11 counts.
Bondnya Bapak itu 5.000 ya per bond dan ada 11 count, maksudnya 11 tuduhan. Jadi 5.000 per tuduhan, jadi ada 11 tuduhan.
He's going to have pretrial release with an GPS ankle monitor.
Dan ya Bapak akan ada namanya trial. The interpreter would like Your Honor to repeat.
With a monitor, he's going to be released with a monitor on his ankle.
Yes. Bapak akan dilepaskan dengan monitor yang itu di ankle-nya, di ankle-nya itu ya.
He must surrender his passport.
Bapak harus menyerahkan pasportnya
before he's released from custody.
Sebelum Bapak dikeluarkan.
And he must prove in a nebia hearing, NEBBIA, that the money he uses for his bond is clean, legitimate money, lawful money.
Your Honor, would you repeat that so I can interpret in parts, please?
Okay. He must have a nebia hearing prior to posting his bond.
Your Honor, may the interpreter clarify what did you say? Nebia hearing?
NEBBIA.
NEBBIA, that stands for something, I suppose?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm not familiar with that. Jadi Bapak nanti akan ada hearing namanya nebia hearing, NEBBIA hearing. Nanti sebelum nanti akan ada hearing itu ya Pak.
Hearing di mana ya Mbak?
Where is the hearing?
It will be before your trial judge.
Itu akan di depan hakim dalam hakim untuk pre-trialnya nanti.
Your bond must be
pre-trialnya.
Your bond must be fully collateralized with real property in Broward County, Dade County, or in West Palm.
Collateral, Your Honor, interpreter would like just to clarify, collateral meaning that the guaranteed by?
Correct. Property in South Florida, one of the 3 counties.
Yes, Your Honor. Bondnya Bapak itu harus dijamin oleh properti yang adanya di Broward County atau Dade County atau West Palm Beach.
Okay, and sir, you are not allowed to leave the Tri-County area when you're on release.
Bapak tidak boleh meninggalkan Tri County itu, yang 3 county yang tadi itu, pada waktu nanti dirilis tidak boleh meninggalkan ketiga county itu.
Thank you, sir.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Thank you.
Makasih.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, take
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, we object.
Take care, ma'am.
This
Thanks
is
for
a punitive
pointing out that.
bond amount.
Appreciate it.
Your Honor, we object. This is a punitive bond amount, punitive bond conditions. This is 5 times more than was alleged to have been stolen. It's a single, an ongoing transaction. This is only 1 count. This is, Your Honor, we just object.
Well, let me clarify, Mr. Miller, let me clarify. I'll clarify for you, sir. The man is not living in the United States. He has no property, he has no family, he has no bank accounts, and he intends to return to Indonesia upon his release.
You asked the wrong question. You asked the wrong question, Your Honor. You didn't ask him if he intends to come to court when called. You asked him if he intended to go home when he got out of jail.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this is a Holland America ship that's registered in the Netherlands. It was the incident is alleged to have occurred in international waters.
Right.
With an Indonesian national citizen.
Right.
Okay. Florida barely has a stake in this.
You're
okay,
absolutely, you could not be any more wrong about your understanding of Florida law, sir. Florida does have Florida.
I didn't say we don't.
Florida has a big stake in cruise ship. Any crimes that leave out of this port where there are crimes committed on the ship, there's a Supreme Court case right on point, very clear.
I read it.
We've gone over that in the past. So, as far as Florida
I read
being
the case law, Your Honor.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
aware of the case where Florida has claimed jurisdiction. Okay, I'm just saying we barely have a stake. We barely have anything to do with this. This all happened outside of our jurisdiction. But we go out and grab jurisdiction. That's fine. But you're making this onerous bond conditions for this man for no purpose except for for no purpose that I can discern.
I'm not going to argue over it. He lacks ties to the community. He allegedly committed a theft where we have jurisdiction in Broward County courts of about $10,000. The court also put a nebulous requirement because he admitted that he sent this money, allegedly admitted that he sent the money to Indonesia. The court's concerned that he would use that money to bond out. And also, there may be even another crime which has not been charged, is the wire fraud, which allegedly occurred by him transferring the funds by way of wire outside from the city of Fort Lauderdale, the port area, back to Indonesia. And he allegedly did that on several occasions. So he could be looking at a whole other bunch of wire fraud charges to add on top of the theft charges. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for helping us. Thank you, ma'am. There you go. All right, so. All right. Now, Ryzswan Haldar.
Represented by Chuck Bernard. Charles Bernard, I'm sorry.
Does Mr. Bernard know to be here?
That I don't know. You might want to inquire.
Hi, Mr. Haldar. Is your attorney, Mr. Bernard?
Hi, Your Honor.
Hi. Is he your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you contact him? Does he know to be here today?
No, sir. I don't have his. I don't have his phone number off my memory.
Okay, hold on.
It's in
Okay,
What is the phone number? 454?
hold on, just give me a moment. Sir, have a seat. Your attorney's on his way. Mr. Laundrie, you want to handle your stuff now?
Yes, Your Honor, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Have a seat and wait.
Okay. May I see
That's not one of mine.
Virgilio Aspen,
Have a seat. Have a seat.
No, your lawyer's coming.
James Jones.
Hello, Your Honor. Virgilio
Hi.
Aspen.
Judge Don Laundere, City of Fort Lauderdale. Just so you know, on Mr. Espen,
Yes.
he has a no bond for something at the marshal's office.
Right, I know that.
Okay.
Let me ask you, do you know what the hold is for, Mr. Aspen? What their...
The hold is for allegedly uttering counterfeit bills.
Okay, you don't need to say anything
It was
more.
under
Just let me-
$100.
Is that local? Is that local?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's all I need to know. Now,
You have a right to
are you on probation or
You didn't-
parole? Are you on probation
No, sir,
or
I am
parole
not.
anywhere?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay. Well, this is for what? Marijuana? Count one?
Yes, Judge.
I mean, if he wants to work it out, right?
That'd be fine, Judge.
Yeah, here's the thing. Mr. Aspen, if you would
Yes, sir.
like to, you could plead no contest to count one, and the case would be over with, you go on with the U.S. Marshals. Or I could release you on your own recognizance, and this case would still float, and then once the U.S. Marshals got done with you, you may end up having a warrant, you may end up having to come back. So what would you like to do?
Understood. As far as the marijuana charge, the only thing, I just don't want to lose my license.
No.
I do work.
I'm not going to adjudicate you. I'll withhold adjudication, so... you're not
Okay, yeah,
gonna-
I would like to do that if you would, sir.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Do you need... All I'm going to do is if you plead no contest, I'm going to withhold adjudication, assess a minimal court cost. You'll get 6 months to pay it. You can mail it in. And that'll be the end of it. Now, if you want to speak with... I don't have an attorney. He's sick today. We don't have the public defender for municipal ordinance cases in the courtroom. Do you need to speak to that attorney before you make this decision, or can you go without the attorney?
No, I can go without the attorney, sir. That's okay.
Do you feel that you're being
I understand my
pressured?
rights.
Do you feel that you're being pressured to go without an attorney? Do you think you're being railroaded? Do you think any undue influence is being placed upon you without having an attorney, or not by not having an attorney? You okay without an attorney?
Yes, I'm sir. I'm
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Do you want to plead no contest to the controlled substance case, and that's the end of it?
Yes, sir. Please.
All right. So we're not going to have a trial. The case is over with right now. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will withhold adjudication on count 1. Count 2, you'll go on to the U.S. Marshals. All right, sir? Thank you.
For the record, we charge this under
There was
state
no way that
statute.
I could go on
And there
like
was some confusion
a
with the
monitor
amount
or
of the court
something
costs.
until.
We charge this under 893, so the correct court cost right now is 293.
You charge this under a state?
We did. This is a filed case. We filed under 893.
Really?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you can prosecute somebody under a state statute?
That's correct. State statute and city ordinance.
No,
I'm lost over here, Your Honor.
I didn't, believe me, that makes 2 of us. I didn't know you could do that. I'm not saying you can't. That's a new thing. I've been doing this a long time. I didn't know.
We can prosecute any misdemeanor that occurs within the borders of the city of Fort Lauderdale. I could even prosecute DUIs. We just choose not to.
Wow. I thought, I remember the DUI issue because I used to do that years ago.
That was an agreement we made with Mr. Satz.
But I thought that you would have to create a DUI municipal ordinance rather than prosecute under the state statute. And you're telling me you can
The
prosecute?
state statute allows for us to prosecute any misdemeanor that occurs within our jurisdiction.
Does there have to be a corresponding municipal ordinance to it?
No, Your Honor.
No. Okay, well, see, I learned something today. I didn't know that. Okay.
All of ours are called MOs, Your Honor, because we do have an ordinance that adopts state statute as an ordinance also.
Okay.
So that's why it might cause confusion. So we have MOs
sir,
on everything.
Here's the thing. Your court cost is set by statute at $293, but I'll give you 6 months to mail it in, all right?
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
So I was wondering, is there any way that I could get like a monitor or something while I wait on the marshals?
A monitor for what?
Case is over.
I don't know. I guess I have to wait for them.
Yeah,
I don't know if I was supposed to be in custody or if I could just be on the
green
monitor.
light. You got the green light. They're going to come pick you up now, all right?
All right.
All right, thank you. All right. Actually, if it's local, they won't pick you up. They'll just move your status from MO to...
Well, from county property to U.S. property.
The federal government will start paying for his
Correct.
food now. All right. James Jones, municipal ordinance, sir. Consuming
Yes,
alcoholic
sir.
beverage over by the One Stop.
Yes, sir.
Hanging out over there with Joe and all the rest of the
Yes, sir.
the regulars. You know,
Sir,
Joe?
can I ask a favor?
Go ahead.
Can I ask a favor?
Yep.
Sir, I need drug and alcohol treatment, and I know that if I plead no contest, I'll just be released, and then I'll go out and start drinking again.
Okay.
Is there any way I can go to one of the jail programs?
Sure, 60-day SAP, Judge.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to reset his case for tomorrow afternoon because I'm not going to sentence him to jail time unless I get a shade here. I'm going to reset it for
You could offer him to be appointed, Judge.
What?
You could offer him if he wants counsel.
Look, I don't want to create World War III or World War IV.
I understand. I just have no way of controlling if Shade comes in.
I just don't want to drink no more, Judge, and I'm just still
Okay, great, Your Honor.
detoxing
That's
real
fine.
bad.
Tomorrow.
If you got
Sir,
worked out, that's fine.
I'm going to reset this for tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow PM.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll make a note. We want to try and get him help, Judge.
PM Wednesday, all right? Send him for PM Wednesday. Okay, so I think that did it for the city of Fort Lauderdale, right? Yeah. There you go. Boy, we're moving right along like, well, we'll...
Like a herd of turtles, sir.
Can't get these things straight sometimes.
Lorenzo Thomas.
Thomas Decline PD, Your Honor.
I understand. Thomas, you're charged with a battery on count 1, domestic violence rate. Count 2, you got a misdemeanor. You have a misdemeanor battery with the $15,000 bond on it. Count 1, you allegedly hit a woman, Rochelle Woods, in the face with your fist, grabbed her purse, attempted to rip it away. And so that's count 1. Now, Steve, I know he's got count 2. Does he have anything else out there?
Hey, Your Honor.
February.
Hold on.
Another trespass from last year. Trespass
Okay, go ahead, sir. Well, let me ask
Your
you.
Honor.
Thomas,
Your Honor.
Let me ask
Yes.
you a couple questions. How long have you lived here in South Florida?
I think I'm 34 now, so I've been here all my life.
All right.
Can I speak?
Hold on, let me look here. The sheet says you're 34. Now.
Yes. Can I speak?
Okay. Are you working at this time?
Am I able to?
Yeah.
Not at this moment, but I was looking for me a job at this moment. But I do pay bills.
Do you have any money in the bank?
Not at this moment until the next month. Until the next month present itself for my money to be put inside my account. I have none in that so far at this moment.
Okay, ma'am, did you speak with the alleged victim? Okay, sir, I suggest you don't tell me about what happened. Well, let me finish. I suggest you do not tell me about what happened which caused you to be arrested. However, if you feel compelled to talk, you're on your own.
Okay. Listen, I am wounded. I'm cut by a knife from this woman. I never put my hands on her. I don't argue with her. I have total respect for her. So she called, and you know how women act out in drama. They act out in
I'm not
fake.
going to respond to that.
Okay, all right, fine. If you feel as if I deserve this total punishment, being that I'm wounded, a wounded man, and all I ever did was be great to this lady, make your judgment. You know, just as long as it's righteous.
Try to do that every day, sir. All right. Now, let me see here. And you had no contact with Miss Woods, am I correct? All right. And right now you got a $15,000 bond on count 2. Is count 2, is that domestic on count 2, do we know?
Yes, Your Honor. There's a battery in front of Judge Brown that's pending. That's where the capias is at.
It's not domestic, though. Okay. Sir, I'm going to set your bond on count 1 for punching the lady in the mouth. I'm going to set that bond at $6,500 on count 1. I know you did get stabbed. It says she stabbed you in self-defense with a small pocket knife.
There's no self-defense. I didn't even raise my hand.
Count 2 is $15,000. I'm going to order no contact with Rochelle Woods. Don't call her. Don't text her. Don't email her. Stay 500 feet from her at all times. It's where she lives, works, goes to school. Anywhere in between.
I'm
you're not
never
allowed to
going
possess guns or weapons
release
while you're
the
out.
key from hell
Thank
from
you.
these people ever.
Sir, may I help you? I'll call you.
So how long I got? How much time I got now?
Right. Okay. You have a case we need to call up?
You gotta go. How much time? You're gonna get yelled at.
Got it. Sir, you ready to go?
Judgment.
Correct. It's a righteous $6,500 though.
Spanish interpreters needed for Conti, but I don't know the name.
Anybody speak Spanish here?
A Conti needed.
Yes, sir. It is Amaya Raphael on the second look.
Got it.
Amaya.
And there's the case number, yes.
Wonderful.
I have the list, but I don't have.
Ma'am, I only have one docket. I only have one docket. Do you have more than one docket? Oh, here it is. I got it. Okay. It's kind of an uneven afternoon, you know? Not flowing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, where's Amaya Rudolph?
Conti, Your Honor.
Got it. Good afternoon, sir. Do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, truthfully to the best of your ability?
I do, Gary Bott.
Hi. Good afternoon, Mr. Amaya.
Buenas tardes, señor Amaya. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
You are charged with battery, sir.
Lo acusan de agresión, señor.
How come you have not bonded out of the jail yet?
¿Por qué todavía no ha salido bajo fianza?
Por el motivo de no tener números de contactos, no recuerdo los números de contacto de mi jefe ni de mi familia y por ese motivo no he podido llamar.
Because I've been able to call because I don't have any contact numbers from family members or my boss. I don't have their phone numbers with me.
All right, sir. Sir, I'm going to, I've reviewed the police report.
He revisado el atestado policíaco.
I will leave your bond the same.
No voy a cambiar la fianza, tiene la misma fianza.
Continue to try to bond out of jail, sir. Thank you.
Por favor, siga tratando de salir bajo fianza, señor. Gracias.
Okay.
What do you need?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Do you want to make an announcement for Spanish, sir?
Sure. Do you want it to be at the main?
Yeah, they can hear us either way.
Yeah. ¿Alguien más necesita intérprete en español? ¿Que no habla inglés? No. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Call us back.
Okay. Now see Kevin Brown.
Medical reset.
Okay, Wednesday PM, sorry. Missy, Rachel Cornfield.
Bonded.
Hey, Mr. How you doing?
Great. How you doing, Judge?
Good.
So it's on Ryzswan Haldar. You want to give me a second, maybe to look at the PC affidavit? That wouldn't be too much trouble, Judge. Thanks. Okay.
That's assistant attorney's here now. We're gonna deal with it. Thomas.
Ravenberry.
Present at the main.
Ma'am, you're charged with count 1, grand theft, then petty theft, illegal use of credit cards, count 4, fraud, count 5, petty theft, count 6 and 7, illegal use of credit cards, count 8 is fraud, count 9 is fraud. Court finds probable cause. State, do you have any priors on Miss Ravenberry?
Ravenberry.
Allegedly, a woman named Sarah Durham bought a pizza from Papa John's in Wilton Manors, and the defendant allegedly employed there, got a hold of that credit card, and then began to use the credit card around town, even paying off a friend's cell phone, a friend's mother's cell phone, I believe, charges for $621.
We're gonna do this case right now.
So,
Your Honor.
Juvenile priors, Your Honor.
hold on, Mr. Miller. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Miller.
Your Honor, Miss Berry has been living in South Florida for 12 years. She's currently a senior at Sun Ed High School. She is on track to graduate, Your Honor. She lives with her mother and her cousins. She's not sure how she's going to bond out. We were going to ask the court to consider pretrial release for her, allow her to go back to school. Like I say, she's on track to graduate, so maybe we could give this one a break.
Okay, ma'am, based on your juvenile record, the facts of the case, and the amount you allegedly took, the court will set your bond on count 1 at 1,000, 2 at 100, 3 and 4 at 1,000, 5 at 100, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 will be 1,000 per count. Thank you. You can bond out. May I see Jennifer Jones? Possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia. The court finds probable cause. Okay, let me look here. Ma'am, this is a bicycle stop. I'm gonna go ahead and release you on your own recognizance, ma'am. To pretrial release, you need to be there. Out of where? How much is it for, do we know? So does that stop her from having pretrial release? I'm going to reset her for tomorrow afternoon, for Wednesday p.m. Ma'am, right now your bond's going to remain 1,000. I'm going to reset you for Wednesday afternoon. Thank you, ma'am. All right, whenever you're ready to go, Mr. Bernard, no hurry. Just whenever you're ready, give me a little wink and a nod. All right? Yeah, you know. All right? Kind of like that weatherman, you know, like, hey, you know. All right, Christopher Espazito.
Judge on
Mr. Christopher Espazito.
Yes, President Domain, Your Honor.
So
He is interested in resolving this case if
You got
you're
a
so
warrant for
inclined.
cannabis. You want to resolve your cannabis case right now? Just plead no contest?
Yes.
Do you understand we're not going to have a trial? We're not going to appoint an attorney. The case is over with right now.
Okay.
Okay. How do you plead, sir?
No contest. No contest.
Okay. I'll withhold adjudication. Good luck. Thank you. How about Nixon Joseph? What?
Bonded.
Oh, too bad I wasn't going to meet Nixon. Bonded. Okay. Lester Litman, Jamil Fuentes, and Patrick Doctor. Lester Litman, you're charged with cocaine, hydromorphone possession, and cannabis possession. Court finds probable cause. Do we have any priors on Mr. Litman?
Yes, Your Honor, 1 second.
Litman, are you currently employed?
Right now, no.
Do you have money in the bank?
A little bit. How much?
Who's going to help bond you out today, sir?
Hopefully my mom. I haven't reached her yet.
Okay. How long have you lived down here in South Florida?
44 years.
Really? Where'd you go to high school?
Tarabella.
Okay. Do you have anything on Mr. Litman?
I have a 97 possession of cocaine at a date. Possession of a controlled substance, 97 at a date. 97 possession of cocaine at a date. 96 possession of cocaine. And a prior.
Oh boy. All right, sir. All right. Yeah, your bond's $2,100 based on your criminal record, the facts of the case. Thank you. You ready to go? Is that a wink and a nod there?
You got me with a nod, but I didn't wink yet.
All right. Mr. Ryzswan Haldar. Sir,
Yes, Your Honor.
you have Mr. Charles Bernard, your attorney, in court with us. Good afternoon, Mr. Bernard.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Mr. Haldar, allow your attorney to speak on your behalf. You don't need to say anything unless we ask you a question, all right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Bernard, your client's been charged with the domestic battery. Do you have any comment about probable cause?
I know, Judge, if they want, and, you know, whatever.
Does he-
I mean, I don't know if he has any priors or not.
Let me find out. Does he have a criminal record? Do we know? No? You know, it's very concerning, the facts of the case. I'm almost wondering whether or not this arrest was, you know, I'm wondering if they didn't just arrest him because they thought he was a danger to his child and a danger to himself. I mean, if you read this, he allegedly was so inebriated that he had picked up his, I believe, a teenage daughter, I'm not sure how old she is, and put her in the car when everyone was concerned how inebriated he was and that he was going to drive the car. It seems that the police probably just arrested him so he'd sober up and not, but I mean, that's what I'm concerned with, that he's got a real alcohol issue here. Ma'am, did you have contact with the alleged victim?
On Mr. Haldar?
Right.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. She indicated that she is not in fear and that she wants contact.
Well, do you know what your client does for work? Do you know anything about him?
It's been a while, Judge.
Do you mind if I just ask him?
Yeah, that's fine, Your
What do
Honor.
you do for work, sir?
I work at a law firm.
And are you an attorney?
I'm a legal assistant.
All right. How long have you lived down here in South Florida?
12 years.
Said you were very intoxicated, banging on a door. I guess you were picking up your daughter. They said that you put your daughter in the car, and when the police got there, the police said you were slurring your words. They could barely understand you, but you were intending on, I don't know if you're shaking your head in disbelief or shaking your head because you think it's made up. I have a feeling it's not made up. I have a feeling that your wife, your daughter, and the police officer, all three, would say the same thing. You were inebriated, you were slurring your words, and you shouldn't be behind the wheel. I think that's why you got arrested. I think the rest of it, they probably would have let it go because it wasn't that serious, the rest of the thing, but I think that's why they arrested you, because they were so worried you were going to drive your daughter and kill your daughter or kill yourself. That's my take. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. However, you're going to report to pretrial release tomorrow between 8 and noon. I'm going to order a drug and alcohol evaluation for you.
Mr. Russo.
I'm going to also order that you do not consume any alcoholic beverages. You're not allowed to consume a drop of alcohol. You're going to be tested randomly by pretrial. And I can assure you, and your lawyer can tell you this is true, if I find out you've consumed a drop of alcohol while you're on release, while this case is pending, I'll have the sheriff go out and pick you up. You'll be held in jail without bond. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, not a drop of alcohol. And I'm also going to order you're not allowed to have it in your possession. You're not allowed to have it in your house, in your apartment. No beer, no wine, no liquor. Is that clear?
Understand.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing, Judge.
Okay, I'm going to allow you to have contact with the alleged victim by telephone only. That's Victoria Molina. You can call.
Yeah,
Yes,
what about exchanging of the kids?
You can have contact with your wife by telephone, and I'll let you come within contact to exchange the children. How old are the children?
8 and 5.
Man, I tell you.
It's me.
Can we put a sobriety on him?
Nothing I can do.
Do you have a landline phone at home?
No.
No?
Judge, you want to do supervised visitation in the presence of his ex-wife?
Yeah. I'm going to order for the time being, sir. You're allowed to be around your wife. I'm going to put in an order. Must be supervised visitation. Victoria Molina. Do you understand? You're not allowed to take your children. in your vehicle or in any other vehicle while this case is pending. Is that clear?
But Your Honor, I have to take my kids back and forth to school.
Is there any way he could be accompanied by
Every time I do something, I get a twist in it.
Right.
So-
Is there any way that he could, I mean, if he's going to pick up his kids from school, that he?
I get my kids every other week, Your Honor.
Well, here's the deal. The visitation judge, I'm asking, just so to protect everybody here, has to be in the presence of his ex-wife, okay? And if he's going to take the kids to school or whatever, she has to be in the car.
Hold it, wait, I'm gonna write it. I know what I'm.
I can't do it today. I'm afraid he's gonna fuck you. He's got a first degree felony.
Only thing I always wonder is, you walk right the street yesterday.
Mr. Walter, when you get out of jail, please call my office for an appointment, okay?
Yes. When? Tomorrow? So I get bond out today, or?
No, you're gonna get released, but by then,
Mr. Walter, there's no bond. You're being released on your own recognizance, okay? But there's special conditions of the release, which is for you to attend pretrial services, to check in with them and do everything they tell you to do, okay? But you're not having to post a bond. You understand?
Okay, sir, here's what I'm going to do. Release you ROR. You have to be a pretrial release tomorrow between 8 and noon. I'm going to order, like I said, you're going to have an drug and alcohol evaluation. You're not allowed to consume any alcohol. You're not allowed to have it in your possession. I'm going to order that you're tested for alcohol every week. I'm going to allow supervised visitation with the children. That supervision will be by your ex-wife. The victim, I'm sure she'll go along with that. If she doesn't, come back and let me know. But you're allowed to transport your children to and from school only. To and from school, you can transport them, but other than that, you don't need to transport them because the visitation is going to be supervised. And you can go back before Judge Katie McHugh. She can modify what I've done, but for the time being, to make sure the situation gets under control, those are the rules, all right?
Judge, just to clarify, when he takes the kids to and from school, is he going to take them in the presence of the ex-wife?
Doesn't need to do that.
Okay, just
Now,
so that's clear.
I'm hoping that, he's going to follow this court's order. And if I hear from the girls or the daughters or, I don't know, boy or girl, if I hear from them, the ex-wife, anyone else that you've consumed any alcohol or it comes through testing, you might as well have your toothbrush with you because you'll get right back in jail.
Right. The other thing, Judge, is if he doesn't get out, I mean, for some reason there's a snag and he doesn't get out before 12 o'clock tomorrow and he's still in custody.
He's going to be out tonight.
Okay.
Your Honor, you mean a supervision visit, meaning that I won't have the kids every other week? That's
That
my
is
concern.
correct. You can go back before Judge McHugh and you can talk to her about it. She can modify it, but for the time being, I'm taking, serious measures because that's how worried I am about you allegedly picking your child up. I mean, from what I understand, you allegedly picked the child up, put her in the car when you were slurring your words so much the police couldn't understand you, and you were ready to drive this small child off into the night. I'm very worried about that. I'm very worried.
That's why it's going to be supervised, except when you go pick up the kids and to school and take them back.
And
That is it.
I don't think we have to engage in rocket science to believe that this may not be the first time that's ever occurred. So, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, good luck, bro. Go ahead.
Right. Hand me this. There you go.
Did you just say that?
You know what? Jamil Fuentes.
Thank
you.
Take
Jamil.
care.
It was a reset before.
Jamil Fuentes.
For like a week.
I don't know why this landed in front of me again.
Medical reset.
Yeah, we're going to do it one more time, and then after that, we're going to take drastic measures. Wednesday p.m. Wednesday afternoon. Patrick Doctor.
Medical reset.
Okay, that's going to be Wednesday p.m. also.
Spinella also.
And what about Michael Spinella?
Medical reset.
That's going to be Wednesday p.m. also. David Bellotti. Yep. Mr. Bellotti, I spoke with Mr. Haddad. I advised him you were in custody. He's setting up a hearing in front of your trial judge to get a bond for you, and he believed that that was the best way to handle this matter. So count one, I'm not going to set a bond today. Count two, that battery is 1,000. Thank you. Your attorney's going to set that up. Thank you. Let me get a sidebar. Patricia Lopez. Patricia Lopez.
Present at the main, Your Honor.
Ms. Lopez, hi, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I realize your bond has been posted, but I'm going to order you get a pretrial release tomorrow between 8 and noon. They're going to give you a map right there. You're going to have a drug and alcohol evaluation. You're going to be drug tested every week and tested for alcohol. You're not allowed to consume any alcoholic beverages while you're out on release, ma'am. I'm going to order that. Ma'am, what do you do for work?
I'm a supervisor at a law firm.
Okay. Ma'am? Yeah, ma'am. Allegedly, you drove on the wrong way of a highway or road up in Boca, blew out the tire in your car, and drove on the rim all the way into Broward County. There was smoke inside your car to the point they were so concerned about you they had to get you out of the car, and allegedly you didn't realize it. Ma'am, I have to tell you, your bond's gonna remain. You have to report a pretrial tomorrow between 8 and noon. Like I say, no alcohol. You're gonna be drug tested. If you fail a drug test, you'll be rearrested. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I don't know why I thought you were relieved.
Okay, Harold Mador. Mr. Mador, sir, you're here on a county ordinance. Mr. Mador, let me look. Open container of alcohol. Mr. Mador, I'll give you a choice today. Could somebody turn on that mic for me? You hit the button over there, Mr. Mador. Okay. The state of Florida prosecutes county ordinances, and that's, I believe, what this is, right? County ordinance. Now, Mr. Mador, I could release you today on your own recognizance, but I think what may happen is you get a warrant for your arrest. Wait, do you still live on 28th Lane in Oakland Park?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, I'm going to release you.
A trailer park.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Make sure you come back to court, all right?
Will I get a date?
Yeah, they're going to send it to that address. They'll send it to you, all right?
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay. Let me see here. Why did we reset Alexander Russos? Do we know?
Because I wanted to do some research on it.
Oh, are you ready to go on it now?
I am.
Alexander Russos.
President of Maine, Your Honor.
Sure.
We are challenging counts 4 and count 2.
Okay. 2 and 4?
2 and 4, Your
Okay.
Honor.
What is your basis? Count 2 is grand theft auto. So,
That according to the docket, it's larceny commits grand theft using a vehicle. You have to, in order for that charge to have probable cause, you have to have used the vehicle in the commission of a crime, and there's nothing in the probable cause affidavit to indicate that that was the case. And so I would argue that this is simply a grand theft.
right, I agree. It is a grand theft. I don't know why it was written the way it was written, but
Right.
count 2 is a
So I
grand
would
theft. Grand theft auto.
And I would ask the court to adjust the
Okay, I'll do
the
that.
bond accordingly.
What about the fleeing at a high
right.
speed?
So it says fled at high speed, disregarded the safety of personal property. According to the probable cause affidavit, there was a brief pursuit. That's it, a brief pursuit. Nothing about endangering the lives of others, nothing about disregard or wants to disregard for the safety of others. This is just
Right.
a brief pursuit. Doesn't say how long, doesn't say how long it lasted. It doesn't sound like it lasted long at all. And so I would argue that this could be a failure to obey. It could be fleeing to elude, but not at that level, Your Honor. I would ask the court to adjust the charge and the bond accordingly.
Let me just look here. Okay, so fleeing elude 1935. Any person who willfully flees or attempts to elude a law enforcement officer in the authorized law enforcement patrol vehicle with agency insignia and other jurisdictional marks prominently displayed on the vehicle with sirens and lights activated, and during the course of the fleeing or attempted eluding, A, drives at a high speed or in any manner which demonstrates a wanton disregard for the safety or of persons or property. Okay.
And I would just argue that that's not present in this probable cause affidavit.
Is it Ian something or other?
Yeah.
And the jail let him go, they didn't hold him. And now he's
Okay,
going to
so
CI.
let me just go over here and look real quick.
What is SVU, do you mind? Okay.
After a brief pursuit, the defendant stopped on I-95 just south. Defendant was taken, let me see. Okay. I followed the vehicle until I had sufficient backup, attempted to stop the vehicle. Defendant refused to stop me. Okay, I think you're right. I don't see a one disregard for other people. I don't see the high speed. It has to be either high speed or one disregard. So I don't see either one. So I think it's failure to
Thank you,
stop
Ron.
for the police probably, but is that a first degree misdemeanor?
Failure to obey? I think that's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, it is. First degree misdemeanor. Okay, well, we can, I'll release some ROR on that. So.
Okay, now.
So count 3 ROR, no PC. Go ahead. Count 4, I'm sorry.
Okay, so now we have to talk about counts 1 and 3. Count 5 we're not going to argue with.
Okay.
So I read the probable cause affidavit, as I'm sure Your Honor did.
Right.
And it allegedly, I mean, it really looks bad. And at first glance, I would be a little shocked at reading this. They're saying that he pulled her out of the car and just smacked her around pretty good. And then I took a closer look at this case, this situation between Mr. Russo and his the mother of his 3 children. And it would appear that Ms. Chevalier has quite a bit of history of her own.
Okay.
She was convicted. She had a retail theft out of Volusia
Now,
County.
let me stop right there. Let me stop. We're not arguing you're not arguing probable cause now. We're beyond that, right?
Yeah. We're going straight to
okay.
Okay. I'm basically what I want to do, Your Honor, at the end of the day is get this man out of custody.
I understand. So go ahead. Tell me about the alleged victim.
Okay, so she's got the Volusia County retail theft from 04. She's got an 06 assault or battery of municipal ordinance out of Miami-Dade. That was no pros. She has an 07 battery out of Miami-Dade, also no pros. She has a 2014 battery out of Broward County that was declined by the state. I happen to know this case because I worked on it when I was in that division. And I pulled the arrest report on this, and basically what happened, they were in a hotel, and this is now the alleged victim, in this case, is now the defendant. So the defendant burned Mr. Rousseau with a cigarette on his shoulder, began to beat him with her hands while he was holding the infant child. So the child is almost a year old now. This is back in July. So it's 6-month-old child. He's holding this child while this woman is beating him. And the police officer comes, he talks to the desk clerk who saw the whole thing. He confirms everything that happened. And then she says, and this is where I wanted the court to pay special attention.
Right.
The defendant, and this is Ms. Chevalier, denied striking the victim and denied touching a cigarette to his shoulder. The defendant stated that everyone else is lying and that the front desk clerk is lying because the victim, that's this guy, will probably, quote, pay her off. The defendant became hysterical, and I was unable to speak further with her on the scene. Now, Mr. Russo advises me that he and his mother have custody of the children, that the mother is no longer allowed in the picture. His mom has custody. She's taking care of the 3 children, and they are now aged
6, 3, and 11 months.
Okay, almost a year, 3 years old, and 6 years old. So those children are living with his mom, and apparently there was some sort of a court case going on here this last couple of.
It was on the 11th.
On the 11th. Where she was denied visitation or something to that effect. I couldn't get any information. Of course, I don't have access to those records. But the point is that this woman has a history of violence. She has a history of hysterics. She, according to Mr. Russo, she's been Baker Acted 7 or 8 times. She's not a reliable witness in this case. And I didn't see anything in the probable cause affidavit that indicated that the police saw any injuries on her. I read something about red marks on her face, but this, again, we're talking about someone who's kind of unstable, could have done it to herself. And it's quite possible she could have done it to herself. So what I'm trying to get at here, Your Honor, is that we need to take a look at the big picture here. A bond that would keep this man from his children. The holidays are approaching. It just doesn't make any sense. This whole case just didn't feel right when I read it. I know it sounded bad when you first read it, but if you dig into it, there's something that's just not quite right. I would ask the court to set up appropriate bond as low as possible, so this defendant can get out and be with his family during the holidays.
Please, Your Honor.
No, I don't. Could you give them to me?
You had an aggravated battery on a pregnant female on 2013 out of date.
Hold
that
it.
was dropped.
Ag battery, pregnant female.
Right, that was dropped. 2013 out of Palm Beach, he had an aggravated assault, commit a felony, another domestic violence battery, and false imprisonment. That was all dropped out of Palm Beach.
DV battery and aggravated assault, DV battery.
Right.
And what else?
Aggravated assault, domestic violence battery, and false imprisonment.
And those were all dropped out of West Palm?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he possession some.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Nothing to do with this, girl.
I realize that you're looking at these cases that were dropped as if they were actual cases. They're not, of course. The last time that he's been in trouble, that it wasn't driving on a suspended license, which Lord knows he has enough of those, was back in 1998, and that. So in this century, the only thing he's been convicted of is driving on driving charges.
Yes, sir. Okay, continue, ma'am.
He had 1998, he had a possession of meth.
Out of where?
That was out of Broward.
Got it.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Huh? No, Your Honor.
Okay, so remind me what you do for work. We had it this morning. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I own a window cleaning company. I also work for an art gallery.
Right. Do you have any money in the bank?
And I do have some money, not a lot, but I do have some money right now.
How much?
Maybe $1,000.
How much not in the bank? How much do you have not in the bank?
A few $1,000s,
How much is a few thousand?
like $2,000.
You have $2,000 not in the bank, 1,000 in the bank. Now, so you have a total of 3,000. Do you have any other money available? Do you have any investment accounts? Do you own any land or property, anything like that?
Not at the moment, sir.
Do you have equipment in your business?
Yes, sir.
How much is that equipment worth?
It's worth a lot of money, sir, but
How
I
much?
need it to work.
How much?
Maybe $6,000.
6,000, okay. All right, now, do you own land or property anywhere?
Not at the moment, no, sir.
So you got $3,000. I'm not sure, frankly, I'm not sure if you still qualify for a public defender. If you got $3,000, there's probably a lot of lawyers who take your case for less than that, but, that's not, well, at least that, maybe not less than that, I don't know, but, let me, okay. I just looked at this. You allegedly have 3 children with the alleged victim, Ms. Chevalier.
Yes.
It says that you got into a verbal argument while driving down the road. You allegedly grabbed her by the arms and hair, removed her from her vehicle, then struck her with a closed fist to the left eye, causing redness and bruising, then put your hands around her neck and proceeded to strangle her while saying, "I will kill you." The victim stated she could not breathe while the defendant's hands were around her neck. The defendant then kicked the victim in the back, which caused her to hit the ground. The defendant then got into her driver's seat and took the vehicle without her permission. I'm not sure if that was leaving her on Diplomat Parkway or not, but says the defendant was ordered to stop. He did not stop right away, and he got onto I-95. So, all right, sir. Several things. The court does note you have several arrests, domestic violence related, domestic battery, false imprisonment, aggravated battery at a Miami and West Palm. I know you have a prior possession of meth case. And then the court also notes, I'm looking at your driving record right here. Failures to appear in 2014, one time. That's one case, 2 failures to... One case is a failure to appear. So that's on your driving record. Now, was there contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm going to set your bond on count 1 at $50,000. Count 2, 75. I'm going to reduce that bond on count 2 to $1,000. That's just a grand theft. The battery, I'm going to set that bond at $5,000. Release your ROR on count 5. That'll be $750. Total bond today is going to be $56,750. And then what I'm going to do is give you a pretrial release with a GPS monitor, PTR GPS. I'm going to waive the cost.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yeah, hold on, sir. I'm not done.
Your Honor.
Sir, it's based on the threats to kill, the level of violence, and your history of being arrested for domestic violence matters, and your failures to appear in court. I'm going to order you have no contact directly or indirectly with Jamie Chevalier. Do not call her, do not text her, do not email her. Stay 500 feet from her at all times. That is where she lives, works, goes to school, anywhere in between. You're not allowed to possess guns, weapons, firearms, or ammunition while you're on release. Yes, sir. Do you have a question?
This is against advice, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, can you hear me? I just want to tell you that, you're setting my high bond. I'm not going to be able to get out on this bond. I have 3 children that depend on me, okay, that stay at my mother's house. All these allegations are allegations, Your Honor. Nothing has been proven. You've seen the last couple months, she was arrested for domestic, okay? And she's trying to get me back. I wasn't even near the girl, okay? Don't get it wrong. I was driving the car. She asked me to drive. I shouldn't have been driving. It was on a suspended license. And that was only one time that I didn't show up to court because I didn't get a court date, Your Honor. Please, I will show up to court. I will be as good. I've lived here my entire life. Please, I'm asking you to be more lenient for me, please, on the $50,000 bond.
Thank
please,
you, sir.
Your Honor.
Your bond's going to remain at $56,750. Thank you.
Motion.
Okay. Okay, now.
I have a tendency to want to add it to my file.
All right.
I know, I just keep forgetting. It's okay.
You have one routine.
Okay, 30 days. Let's go to that real quick. Which one's filed on 30 days?
Dexter Ware.
Dexter Ware is filed, but Deion Jackson is not, correct?
Yes. The email he sent you?
Mm-hmm.
I sent you the email?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing right now.
On which one?
No, I got it. I get anything from
Which one?
What?
Deion Jack? Are you talking about Deion?
Which case number do you have that's no info? Hold on, let me take it one step at a time here.
No idea.
Where is Deion Jackson? Deion Jackson, come forward, please.
What did it say on that one?
It's just not filed yet. The 535 one. The 235.
Deion Jackson, I think we agree that's ROR, right? Okay, on 14-01-5235 CF10, you're going to be released on your own recognizance, Deion Jackson. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Where you at? B3? B3. What do you get out of it, man? All right, man.
There's two charges or one charge?
Get through to me.
The 235 case, a Severance was filed the unfiled shelf.
Did you get it mixed up? So Deion Jackson is not filed?
On clerks, no.
What about Dexter Ware, 15230? 1515230.
I like to check through the names just in case there's more than one. Okay, so the delivery of. Okay, so the cocaine was no info, but he was charged with delivery of pyrrolidin, whatever.
Delivery of cocaine was not filed, but the other charge
Right.
was filed.
Well,
Right or no?
it says file sent, so.
I don't know, but they can be written here.
Yeah, file states information. Let me,
Nothing's been filed,
on count 1.
right? The
information sheet yesterday, no info, 1, and
2. Okay.
it was just a change of charge, change of
Okay. They can't be RR.
Where's Dexter Jackson? Dexter Ware? Excuse me, Dexter Ware? Sir, I'm here on case 14-15230, CF Tech. I'm looking at it right now, State of Florida versus Dexter D. Ware. And it says here on the Odyssey program, the State of Florida has filed an information. Look here. I have here one count, delivery of PVP. I'm not sure that I can pronounce the word, but it's Pyro Lidino Valor Ophena PVP. And that formal charge against you was signed and sworn to by Alex Urella of the State Attorney's Office. He did so December 15th, 2014. Now, let me ask the defense, do you have any issues with this?
No, Your Honor.
Our warrant will be denied today on this defendant. Denied. All previously set bond and release conditions shall remain in full force and effect. Thank you very much, Mr. Ware.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I got 6 kids, and if I get out today, Your Honor, my boss man will, in the morning, he'll give me a shirt and tell me to clock in and get to work, Your Honor. And I can't afford a bond, Your Honor. I have nobody to bond me out, Your Honor. So I'm asking, Your Honor, can you please let me out of here on pretrial release or R&R? I need to get to work and buy my kids Christmas stuff. I got a job. If I get out here today, I'll be able to start work in the morning. And I need to get my kids some Christmas stuff.
You need to get your kids what?
I need to be able to get my kids some Christmas things when I get out. I got a job. I get out today, I'll be able to start work in the morning.
Okay.
You can let me on pre-trial release or R&R.
Okay. I'm going to release him our order pre-trial release. You have to report tomorrow
Thank you,
morning
Your
between 8 and noon.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank
No
you.
problem. No, it's 2 separate orders. I'm going to deny the motion to release him ROR based on the motion of them not filing. That's one. However, I'll release him ROR to pretrial release on another. All right?
Thank you, sir.
No problem, sir.
All
Least
right.
I can do. I'm in that holiday spirit. No, actually, I looked at your priors and you didn't have any bad priors. So, okay. Well, look, he sat in jail for 34 days. I hope he has a realization how important pretrial is. Defendant released.
Because you have to just count 2 only, because it'll be a conflict if you saying denied on one order and pretrial on another, because the other one was no info on it. So you
Count 1 was no info.
Count 1 was no info, so just put them on pretrial on count 2.
What's count 2? What's the charge? Possession of PVP? Do you mind filling out the top for me, ma'am?
So just so we're clear, because I'm carrying 2 different stuff. Am I getting rid of this order here?
Yeah. Let's just get rid of it. Just to make it clear. I'll rip it up.
So it's actually granted in. Now it's
There you go. Yeah. defendant,
So when you put in count 2 only on the audit.
Just counsel.
see, I wrote it up for you that way.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, now, who do you have over there, Mr. Miller? I had a, where did my...
Daniel. Verico, Your Honor. Daniel. One each.
Okay. Do you still have my docket? Get my docket. My docket for second looks, I had my, I needed 4 misdemeanors.
From Marico? He's just looking for a second look docket.
Miracle, David.
I think that's
Daniel?
fine.
Do you have a docket I can use? Thanks. Okay. Took care of that one. Daniel Marico, page 2. Disorderly intoxication, sir. Hold on one moment. I just want to look at one thing. A lot of disorderly intoxications, Marico. You want to work it out today? You want to plead no contest?
Yes, Your Honor, I would. Yes, sir.
You know what? I'm trying to remember with this. I think this is the one where you were yelling at cars for some unknown reason. I think that's what this is about. Right.
Yes, sir, it was.
Right. Heavily intoxicated. Swing. He was warned not to solicit at the intersection. This is right here, soliciting without a permit, using offensive, yelling at vehicles. Wow, I asked him why he was yelling at the vehicles. He replied he couldn't understand why. All right, sir, would you like to plead no contest and your case is over with today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, how do you plead to disorderly intoxication?
No contest.
All right, you understand we're not going to have a trial, we're not going to appoint an attorney, the case is over with today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you know, Mr. Marico, you seem like a nice guy. If you want to get intoxicated, inebriated, just don't do it and don't panhandle in traffic, don't stand in traffic, don't solicit in traffic. Everyone's cracking down on that now. They don't want people out walking in between cars. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. If you plead no contest, I'll withhold adjudication, all right? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Who's next?
Louis K.
What's your name, sir?
Louis K, Your Honor. Louis K, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, petty theft, Mr. K. Let me just look at something real quick here.
He's also being held on some felony cases.
Oh, is he? Probably not good for him to work it out right now if he's been held on felonies.
3 felony cases.
You know what? I'm not going to work it out. I'll let your felony judge take care of this, sir. You know, I'd be the one to push him over the top to get state prison. You know, that .02. Is it .2, right?
0.2.
Misdemeanor's .2 on the score sheet. He's probably .1 away, and I pushed him over the top. Okay. Now, what's your name, sir?
Turn on the button, please.
What's your name?
Terry Davis.
Okay, Mr. Davis, just give me a quick moment.
Okay.
He has what? He has 4 cases, right? So Mr. Terry Davis has theft, open theft case, and open container case. He has
No.
a trespassing
Okay.
case and another trespassing case.
I have one theft case.
Right, I know. You have one theft case, but you have an open container case, and it looks like you have 2 trespassing cases.
Yes, sir.
So,
I agree.
let me just look here real quick. See here, the theft case.
I mean, that's the docket, but I'm just.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to send these all to your division judge, all right, Mr. Davis? I'm not going to resolve them today. Thank you, sir.
All right.
And finally, Your Honor, we have Mike Dews. I think he's waiting for his attorney.
Yeah, we're holding off on that for just a couple of minutes here.
Well, I'm done here, so I'm going to sign off.
Thank you.
Okay with you?
Yeah, Eric
Have a nice day,
Pavo,
Your Honor.
Paveo.
When you're ready.
Eric Paveo.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor. How you doing, Your Honor?
I gave him a Christmas present. He'll show up. He's wanted. Right, where is Mr. Eric Paveo?
Right here, sir.
Sir, how come you haven't bonded out of jail yet in Broward? It's
I
$100.
don't have any money. I'm trying to get on SSI, but can I make a note, please?
Dade County.
Fernando County with a $10,000 bond.
For what? For burglary? So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on this Broward case, so you can go on to your other county, all right?
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, sir, how are you doing? Okay, no problem.
15? You're right. Is he just, where is he going?
Okay.
Good afternoon, Judge.
You ready to go on Mr. Dews?
Are you speaking with the state or myself?
No, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Mr. Let me see. Mike Dews? Mr. Dews?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hi, sir, you're here. You've got a attorney representing you, Mr. Cardenudo, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Your client has been charged with license suspended, count 1. Count 2, failure to return driver's license. Count 3 through count 8 are warrants on some, I guess that's is that a DUI?
There's a case, but there should not have been a warrant issued because this was, I believe, in Judge Robinson's court.
Right.
It was being transferred to the Veterans Court. May we also approach sidebar?
Hold on. Mr. Does, your attorney's on top of this. He's going to get you in front of Judge Merrigan. Your bond today is $750 on 1, 100 on 3, 4 and 5 are going to be 1,000. Count 6, 7 will be 500, 250. Count 8 will be $50. Thank you very much for coming out on short notice, sir.
Judge,
Your Honor.
if Judge Merrigan is so inclined to do so,
right.
Can he set aside the bonds that you're imposing today and keep
He
them on
can
his
do
existing bonds?
whatever he wants.
Okay, I didn't want to step on the court's toes, but
No,
I figured,
no. He can modify anything I've done, all right?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Because what I've done isn't a warrant.
Right.
A warrant, it's just a bond. The subsequent judge can modify the bond. It's just changing a warrant from another judge. You run into
Well,
problems.
right now, that should be satisfied because he's been taken into custody, so that one's no longer an issue. I just need to get him released, and I'll speak with Judge Merrigan about that. You understand, Mr. Dews?
Not completely.
Your attorney's going to go to Judge Merrigan and get this hopefully resolved for you. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I don't think you need to. Thank you. Thank you. Wait.
Chambers?
Yeah, you want to go through here? Carl, let him go through there. Thanks. Good luck. All right.
I feel like I saw him.
May I see Shavia Nixon? Miss Nixon. Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
prostitution. How come you haven't bonded out yet, Miss Nixon?
Because I stay in North Miami and my mom don't have no way to come and get me.
Well, you mean you're not bonding out because you don't have a ride back to North Miami?
No, because my mom don't have the money, I guess. I don't know.
I can understand. That's a different story. I thought it was a transportation issue. Hold on one moment. Let me look here. Okay, I'm looking here. Judge Solomon, you have 2 open misdemeanor cases. You didn't show up for court. 2 traffic cases. Well, actually, it's the same case. You have a total of $500 on that bond for not showing up in court. And on this prostitution, you get a bond for $300. So I'm a little concerned you don't come to court when you're supposed to. So
I didn't know. Seriously, I didn't know that cause I didn't know I even had no warrants until I got stopped that day. I didn't know.
Right. Okay, let me just take a look here. Hold on. Okay, you live in North Miami, but you were allegedly picked up on North Federal Highway in Hollywood, 9:50 in the morning. Okay. I don't know, ma'am. I'm trying to figure out what do. You have a track record of not showing up in court, and the prior judge had to give a bond for you because you didn't show up in court. So let me look here. I don't know what that was for. Ma'am, I'm going to leave your bond where it is on this, all right? You can bond out. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, what about John Doe? John Doe.
Contiano.
That's D-O-U-G-H, by the way. Resisting, I know. All right, John Doe, you must have a lot of people maybe question your name. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Like if you go to get on an airplane and they say, what's your name? And you say John Doe. They go, okay, come on, cut it out. What's your real name? Do you get that?
Your Honor, that was a name that the police on arrest had given to me.
So what's your real name?
My real name is Stephen Dolan.
Oh. Your real name's Stephen Dolan, but you go by John D-O-U-G-H. Like cookie dough.
No, Your Honor. The police wrote it that way.
Oh. He refused all information?
I remember this when he first came in.
Really?
Yeah,
Why would he do that?
It shows right on the booking sheet. It's right. He wrote. I remember this.
I have to look this. John Doe.
His name is Stephen Dolan.
I thought that was too good to be true, John Doe. All right. John Doe. Okay. Refused to give information. Yeah, they said you refused. How long have you been down here in South Florida, Mr. John Doe, or whatever your name's John? What's your real name, Dolan?
Dolan, sir.
D-O-L-A-N?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dolan, how long have you been in South Florida?
Some days, Your Honor. The 10th or the 9th?
Where'd you come from?
I came from Washington, D.C.
Now, let me ask you, what means of transportation did you take to get down here to South Florida?
The Greyhound bus, Your Honor.
Okay, and what was the reason you came to South Florida? For what reason?
The weather's warmer. It's a nicer area. Thought I would stay here for the winter, Your Honor.
Right. Did you have any money when you came down?
No, Your Honor.
Did you have a place to stay when you came down?
No, Your Honor.
Well, you seem like an intelligent man to me. How far did you go in school?
I have a bachelor's degree and some studies towards a master's degree.
Where'd you get your bachelor's?
It was while I was in the service through the Navy College office in the Excelsior College.
What'd you do in the Navy?
I was an avionics technician.
Oh, what kind of aircraft did you work on?
Oh, the EP-3 Ares. It's a surveillance gathering
Oh, I
plane.
know. I was stationed on those kind of airplanes. I know. How many engines are on it?
Oh, 4. 4?
Right.
I don't know. I didn't work on the plane. I worked in the intermediate, the eye level.
I was
They
just
took
trying
the.
to figure out if you knew it had wings or not. Hey, let me ask you. Now, who bought your bus ticket to come down? Who paid for it?
It was the people of DC. I just asked around and gathered the money for it and bought the ticket.
The people in. Did you say DC?
Yes, Your Honor. I panhandled for it.
You panhandled for the money to get down here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did any government agency or any police agency, any social service agency help you pay for your ticket or your transportation down here?
No, Your Honor.
No. Now, I'm just curious. You know, I've been to North Carolina, I've been to South Carolina and Georgia. Jacksonville, I used to be based there in the Navy. Orlando, I even went to when they used to have nuclear power school, I stopped in there once or twice. Why would you come all the way to Fort Lauderdale and not stop in Jacksonville or Orlando or Melbourne, Florida or West Palm? Why Fort Lauderdale? Why would you come all the way down here to Fort Lauderdale? The weather's not that different than, Melbourne or Orlando.
No, well, I'd been studying, I wanted to go south, and I was studying the situation in Fort Lauderdale.
What situation were you studying? What did you find out?
Regarding the laws that have been getting passed against the homeless.
Right.
And I just, I thought I would come and do a study of the situation. Washington, D.C. has been very kind to me. And
well, did you come down here because you heard that it was a good place if you were going to be homeless? Is that why?
I heard it was a very bad place from the reports in the news.
Right.
But I thought I would see for myself.
So you came all the way down here kind of on a information-seeking
Information seeking and hoping just to pass it quietly the winter here and then go back up to DC when it's over.
Okay. Interesting.
But I understood that there was some issues here. There was some issues of oppression of the homeless here, and I was thinking, well, I'll see how serious it is and just take some knowledge of it for myself.
Really? Huh, interesting. Okay, I just, find it interesting how people move around the country, that's all. Hey, well, now, let me ask you this. Why would you withhold your information? I mean, what was that about?
Well, Your Honor, this is at the public library in Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And I'm aware that there's a sign there that says no trespassing, that the police are authorized to ask anyone to leave,
Right.
something along that sign.
Right.
I was way on the other side, away from the library itself, at early in the morning doing exercises in the park. I didn't think that was particularly...
No, but the park is closed.
Correct. Now, the police arrived.
There's no exception for if you're doing exercises or whether you're smelling the flowers. The park is closed. So we understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, and when the police arrived, they didn't do what was authorized. They detained me,
Right.
demanded that I answer their questions, and I
Right.
was charged for not speaking, for not answering to their demands.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think if you probably would have told them what your name was, they probably would have let you go. But I think since you were putting up kind of a little bit of a, antagonistic angle to it, I think that's when they decided they were going to arrest you. I think if you would have said, hey, look, my name's Dolan, I just got here, I didn't know about the park, I'll be on my way, you probably wouldn't have been in jail. But since you started saying, I'm not telling you my name and I'm not going to, that's when you guaranteed your trip to the jail, I think. Just as a practical matter. You know what I mean? You ever hear you get more with sugar than you do with, you get more with honey than you do with salt? You know what I mean? I'm just merely pointing something out. I'm a Navy man too. If you would just say, hey, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know, and you move on, it wouldn't have been a problem. But I think when you started to play, I'm not going to tell you my name and that, I think you bought yourself a one-trip ticket over to the jail. But that being said, would you refute? They were going to give you, it says right here, they were going to give you a trespass warning if you just said what your name was. You refused to provide your name.
I didn't find the demands pertinent, Your Honor.
Either way, I don't know what point you were trying to make, but whatever. Now, do you want to get out of jail? Would you like to plead no contest, get out of jail, or what do you want to do?
Your Honor, for the charge, is this asking me to make a plea? I'm thinking not guilty, Your Honor.
Well, then you'll stay in jail for probably another 2 or 3 weeks till you have a trial. You really want to do that?
It would offend my sensibilities to not do that, Your Honor. And I believe that a jury would look at the situation and they wouldn't appreciate having such demands placed upon them as well.
You mean having a man breaking the law by being in a park when it's closed and merely the police officer saying, could you just tell us what your name is? The police probably want to make sure there's no sex offenders in the park. They probably want to make sure they don't have convicted purse snatchers in the park. So they're just going to ask you your name, make sure that you're not one of those people, and they'll probably let you go on your way. But instead, you put up a fit, or not a fit, but you put up a barrier, which is your right, and now you're going to prove some kind of point. Hey, it's a free country. If that's the way you want to do it, I don't see how you're right. I don't think you're right about this from what I could see. But if you feel that way, that's up to you. So, and since I don't know what your real name is, and I can't tell whether you're a sex offender or a wanted person, I don't know I can't let you out. I was going to let you out. But it seems like you actually like being in jail. Am I correct?
Well, I would prefer to leave if that were the right thing to do.
We don't know what your name is. We don't know if you're a sex offender. We don't know if you're a wanted fugitive because you won't give your name. So
Well,
I'm
Your Honor,
afraid, I'm afraid to turn you out on the street. And you know, you're just brand new here. You could be wanted out of D.C. I don't know. So
Your Honor, I can provide all my information, and we can do whatever checks you would like to do. There's nothing there that I'm aware of.
okay, hold on a minute. Let me see how we can do this. Look, I think you're a pretty nice guy. I think you're maybe a little obstinate, but I think you're probably a nice guy. I'd like to see you get out of jail. You're a fellow Navy man. But here's the problem. They've got you down as a John Doe, you know, a fake name, and I think they're not ready to modify it. I asked them, I haven't had this happen before. I asked them if they would accept new information. They said no. So you're probably going to have your day in court. All right? Okay. Good luck. All right?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You know what?
I'll take all of them.
Julian Mora. You're Julian Mora?
I think they all left.
All right, custody, Your Honor.
Hey, Julian Mora. Sir, no driver's
How's it going,
license.
Your
How come you haven't bonded
Yes,
out of
Your
jail
Honor.
yet?
Because I have no money right now.
He's on probation for what? So I'm going to let this go to your trial division, all right? Thank you. Okay, is that a wrap? Is that it? Sorry we kept everyone kind of long today, but it was enjoyable. All right?
You think?
For everyone.
I was gonna say for who?
All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see everyone back here tomorrow morning at 8:30. Until then, we're out from room 235. Thank you.